chess players do indeed keep chess alive. And if you're wondering where this quote comes from, then you are definitely in the right place to explore it. I am Lando, and let's get rocking. Since my channel has reached over 50 subscribers, I have decided to have a celebration by sharing with you one of my best chess games for this year. I played this game online, and it is really beauty that I wanted to share with you. So let's get going. I was playing black, and my opponent in this instance played the move 1c4, the English opening. So the reason why I decided to share with you this game is that lots of chess players around my country that have actually interacted with me shared with me, most of them, that they actually struggle to play against the English opening. And so I just wanted to give you a few tips then there on how to play well and play solid against this opening. So do stay tuned. We have 1c4 on the board, known as the English opening. In this instance, I played the move knight to f6. There was knight c3, g6, g3. So in the board we have the English Anglo-Indian with knight c3. I played bishop g7 here. My opponent played bishop g2, short castles, and as you can see from black's few moves that have been played, black is following one of the main opening tasks that you need to accomplish in the opening that I did talk about in my previous videos. I will link the description below where I explain what are the main ideas every chess player should implement in the opening, so you may check that later. But for now, we may just stick in the game. White played the move e4. I played d6, preparing to develop my light squared bishop over here. My opponent played knight ge2, continuing development as well. c5, d3, knight c6. These are all the standard moves. Short castling, a6, preventing the knight from jumping to the b5 square, and potentially looking for the b5 break in the future. f4 was played by my opponent. I played bishop g4 here, developing the bishop to the most active square, and my opponent played the move bishop to e3. I played queen d7, looking to trade the bishops here with bishop to h3, and bringing the queen, and perhaps aiming for knight g4 in the future. Seems good, but the main idea of the move was to actually connect the rooks, as it accomplishes one of the opening tasks as well. So now black has completed the development stage of the opening, because both rooks are connected. So let's see the rest of the game. Queen d2 was played. White tends to do the same as well, connecting the rooks by moving the queen. Rook fb8. So the move rook fb8 was to generally prepare the move b5 in the future, and as you will see as the game continues, black will strive to achieve this. So rook ab1 was played, and yeah, in this moment I struck with the move b5, as the move rook fb8 prepared b5. So now it was the perfect moment to play it, and my opponent took my opponent actually took on b5, c takes b5. Then I played a takes b5, and as you can see now, the rook is currently attacking the a2 pawn. So my opponent defended it with a3. and in this instance I continued striking in the queen side with b4. You might want to look for the attacking moves that you might play in your opponent's half of the board, as I outlined in my previous video, that you need to look for those attacking moves in your opponent's half of the board that force your opponent to defend. So the move b4 actually attacks the knight and the pawn as well, so it might be a good option, hence I played it in the board. So a takes b4 was played, then I captured with the rook takes b4, then there was knight to d1. I continued with rook a b8, and in this instance you can actually see that I'm lining up my rooks, attacking the a2 pawn, and perhaps if my knight moves away from the f6 pawn, then the bishop will also take a look at this pawn, and I will be soon winning material. Hopefully the game is won. So my opponent played knight to f2 here, attacking my bishop, but I continued with the move knight to e8, opening this bishop to attack the b2 pawn. Then my opponent here played a strange, well, it's not a strange looking move, but yeah, it is actually, yeah, a fine move in my opinion. The move knight takes on g4, as it removed the light squared bishop in this instance. Then I captured with the queen, and he played h3. I retreated my queen to d7, and he played f5 here, which seemed a bit strange for me, because he kind of sacrificed his pawn, which is the idea that if we take a look at the game from the white's perspective, I will just flip the board here for you very quickly. So if we are looking for or from the white's perspective in this instance, the move f5 actually, so coming back into this position, if we look from the white's perspective, we can actually see that the move f5 prepares white's kingside attack with moves such as bishop to h6, trading off the light squared bishop, and to advance even further on the king side with ideas such as f6, and perhaps even trading on g6, opening this far for the rook. So the move f5 does actually make a lot of sense, but before playing such moves in the board, I highly recommend that before you play your move in the board, you should actually ask yourself, what are the opponent's forcing replies, and is there any move that they can make that would cost me material? Then if white had made this option, then they would definitely notice that the move f5 in this position actually dropped materials, as I played the move rook takes b2, simply winning a pawn, and white recaptured. Then I took the rook back, gaining material advantage and more activity. And my opponent in this position played the move queen to c1, which was a terrible blunder because it actually blundered a piece. And yeah, it actually arises from the idea that I shared earlier on. When people are being attacked, they automatically think about defense, and I think this is a wrong stereotype that most chess players need to break in their heads. And instead of thinking about such simple defensive moves in this position, you can actually first think about the counter threats that you can make first and foremost. And then if you do not have any counter threats in your position that you can play, so that your opponent can actually not be the one controlling the game. Then you need to make simple logical defending moves, and the move queen c1 in this instance actually drops material as the knight on e2 is hanging. So white should have played a little more bit accurate here. Moves like queen d1 would be better here, just defending the knight, because after queen c1 white actually realized later that the knight was hanging, so I went on capturing the knight. Then I have a winning position here because I am up a full knight, and perhaps white could have resigned in this moment, but yeah, they continued with the struggle with moves g4. Then I played knight to e5, putting more pressure on white's position, attacking the d3 pawn, and my opponent played the move rook to d1. And yeah, in this instance I bought my least active piece in the position, which is the knight on e8 that is currently not doing anything. So it would be great to move it to c7 and to actually continue grabbing more squares in the board. So the move knight c7 was played. Then my opponent played the move bishop to f1, which I think was the last final mistake that he could make. You can feel free to pause the video here and try to guess the move that I should have played instead of the move that I played in this instance, which is rook a2. So yeah, you can go on and find the move on your own. I will give you a couple of seconds. Well, for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations, you are indeed a strong attacking chess player. So if you remember in my previous video, I told you that you need to look on the opponent's half of the board. First of all, the moves that you can play there that will take or attack something. And in this instance, if I had followed actually my rule, of course, then I would find the move knight to f3 here, which wins the game on the spot because it is a check. And after white moves the king, then it's actually rook to h2 checkmate. So let's see this in the board. After this move, knight to f3 check, then black is forced to move the king, and then we deliver this nice mate here on the h2 square. But I did play this a little bit too slow, because after rook a2 white played the move d4, and in this instance I actually found the punishing continuation with knight h3 check, knight f3 check. Then after my opponent played king h1, I finished the game in style with the move rook to h2 checkmate. So that was the game. I hope that you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that you take the main ideas in this sort of a quick lesson, that before playing your move on the board, you actually need to ask yourself, what are the forcing attacking replies that my opponent can play? Are the moves that your opponent can play in your half of the board that may take or attack something, as you usually do it yourself? Because the chess game is actually played between two individuals, so both of them have an equal say in the board. So it would definitely be a great tip that can help you avoid a lot of blunders in your own games, and it will just help me as well. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this short quick lesson. Consider subscribing to the channel and share it with more chess friends out there, as it will help them to sort of blunder less in their games. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon, and wishing you a great rest of your day.